This may seem a little bit silly me using this microphone because there's not that many people here, but I talk about it. Some of you heard me, but some of you didn't. I have a real hard time speaking loudly, so this helps a lot. Plus singing too. I'm here to take you on a journey with me, and we're going to start in the past. My past and your past too. I also would really appreciate you sometimes helping me out a little bit and participating, even though some of the participation is going to be baby stuff, you know, kind of stuff that you did when you were little. The first thing I want to do is play a song for you that I wrote all these songs that I'll play for you today. And I go around in classrooms in the schools that I work at and we do some of these things. When I grew up, there were 32 monsters living under my bed. 2 in the closet and 1 in the hallway. So I know all about monsters. And I was afraid of monsters, you know? I mean, because they were there, and they were going to get me. You guys aren't afraid of monsters, are you? Okay, I didn't think so. But do you remember? Do you remember when you were little? That's what I said, I'm taking you back in time. Do you remember when you were little and those monsters were in the closet and stuff? You know, I remember there were 32 monsters living under my bed. And I was afraid of them. And I was also afraid of the dark. You know why, don't you? Because monsters like the dark. They love the dark. They don't like the light at all. You never see any monsters in the light because they don't like it. They're afraid of it. And they love the dark because you can't see them in the dark, and they know it. You know, you'd be walking down the hallway of your own house, walk by a dark place, all of a sudden, and they've got you, you know, because you can't see them. And it's terrible. And that's why I was afraid of the dark, and it was awful, because there were 32 monsters under my bed. And so this is a song that comes from that experience. And what I'd like you to do, if you will, is sing the chorus with me. The chorus, of course, is the part that goes over and over. It's the same thing. And like I said, it's a little bit below your age level, but I wanted to go back in time to when you can remember this, okay? And see if you can participate a little bit. It might help. I won't make you do this every time, I promise. Anyway, here's the song. This is the chorus part. There are monsters in the closet, monsters in the den. That's not the right rhythm. Did you see how they were doing that? If you can't keep the right rhythm, it might be better not to do it because everybody's going to start looking at you. Look at that, they're not doing the right rhythm there, you know. But, you know, if you want to keep a rhythm, that's okay. But, you know, the song itself, I've got to teach you the words before you can do that. Okay, here's the rhythm. Like this, you see. And it would be more like... There are monsters in the closet, monsters in the den. This is going to be great. Monsters in the hallway, just as soon as you turn your head. They will get you if you're too slow, or if you open your eyes. There are monsters in the attic, and beneath each place that you lie. You think you can get that next time we get there? Help me out if you will, please. Here we go. No, I'll go to the next part, okay? The part you don't have to sing. They are sticky, hairy, ugly, scary, lonely, horrible too. They scratch and scrape and claw and gape until they get at you. They are greasy, grimy, glaring, slimy, pink and emerald green. They kick and bite and pick their fights in more than just our dreams. Here we are, ready? There are monsters in the club. You guys are funny, you know that? You're about the same as most students I see that are your age, you know. You start going, monsters, and you guys go, who's singing this thing anyway, you know? And some of the people who are singing are going, I don't care what you guys think. You look at who's singing this thing. I want to sing with that person. But it's hard to sing, I know, because, you know, you're 6th grade. And when you're 6th grade, you start worrying about stuff like that, right? You know, and people are looking at you when you start to sing. These people start to weave back and forth, and somebody says, hey, you're not in the right rhythm. That's terrible stuff, you know? So try and remember what you were like when you were 4 or 5. Then you'll be able to sing. Okay, here we go. Ready? There are monsters in the closet. Good. Monsters in where? Oh, good. Monsters in the hallway, just as soon as you turn your head. They will get you if you're too slow, Or if you open your eyes, there are monsters in the attic and beneath each place that you like. You guys were great. This side was pitiful, but you guys were great. Now listen, I know that sometimes it's hard to learn words to songs like this, so let's try that one more time and see how you guys can do this, all right? Monsters in the closet, good. Monsters in the den. Monsters in the hallway. Just as soon as you turn your head. You guys said you weren't afraid of monsters! Oh man, there were about 30 students who went like this. And 4 of them in the back went right up in the air and came back down, and their legs started shaking like this. They were looking around, that's scary. And your principal went off the floor too. Oh, it was terrible. Oh man. Or if you open your eyes, there are monsters in the attic and beneath each place that you lie. Now some say monsters, they are good, and some say that they are bad. But me, I know it all depends on just the kind that you have. The monsters of the morning sometimes aren't the same at night. You know, they always seem to disappear when you turn on the light. You know, that's true. I remember when I was little, you know, I was a little boy, my mother, she used to come in at night, she'd come in the doorway, you know, and she'd go over to the bed, and she'd tuck me in real tight, and then she'd kiss me on the forehead. Mothers like to kiss little boys on the forehead. This is true. She'd kiss me on the forehead, she'd go back to the doorway, and she'd turn out the light and close the door. Had those covers up, man. Because I knew there were monsters in my room, you know, and I didn't want them to get me. It's safe under the covers. And I'd be waiting under the covers like this, you know. And I had to look, though, because I knew there were monsters in my room. And I knew also that I was a wild sleeper, and sometime during the night, my leg might get out from under the covers, you know, and shot! So I had to look, had to see if there were any moving around. You know, I started to do like this, you know, start pulling those covers down so I could see just over the top like this. Well, I had to see if there were any out there, you know, I started pulling them down, like, just see what the sure enough, there's a monster. I said, Mom, there's a monster. She came in and turned the light, poof, he was gone. She'd say, what's wrong, Mom? There was a monster. It's right over there by the closet. He was going to get me. So she'd go over and look in, you know, she'd do like this. She couldn't find nothing. And she'd come back to bed, she said, there's no monster in your closet, what are you talking about? Mom, well, he was in there, you know, and then she'd start to tuck me in again, only this time she'd get my arms and hands like this beside my side, so that when she tucked me in, I couldn't move at all. Then she'd kiss me on the forehead again. Yuck! She'd go back in the doorway, turn out the light, and close the door. Had those covers up again, man, because I knew there were monsters in my room, you know, and I didn't want them to eat me. But I had to look. I already told you why. I started pulling those covers down again, you know, start doing like this. Here, monster. Here, monster. Once again, now look, just, you know, sure enough, there once again, I screamed, Mom, there's a monster. She ran into her light, poof, he was gone again. She'd say, what is wrong with you? Mom, the monster, he was over there by the closet, and it was terrible and awful, and it was worse than last time, because this time, you know, he was reaching out like this, and he was laughing, because last time when you came in here, you couldn't find him. So she'd go over there and look again, you know, she'd do like this. Mothers can't see very good. You ever notice that? That's true. Man, she couldn't see very good. Not only that, but they never look behind the coats or the clothes in the closet, do they? They don't do that. I used to wonder, why don't they do that? And then I got older and I realized they don't want to find the monster either. And monsters know it. Monster was back there hiding behind the coats laughing, you know, and I could hear him about he's doing like this, you know. And I said, Mom, this is monsters in the closet. She said, no, there's no monster in the closet. I went over and looked, there's nothing in there. And I could hear right then, I said, Mom, listen, if you listened, you could hear him. And she'd do like this, you know. Mothers can't hear either. No, they're too old, you know. You get old, you lose your hearing, you lose your sight. It's no wonder she couldn't find a monster. And she'd look at me and she'd say, there are no monsters in your closet. There's nothing in here, you know. I said, Mom, listen, look under the bed, please, look under the bed. You'd think with 32 monsters living under my bed, she could at least find one. But she couldn't, and she'd look at me and she'd say, there are no monsters under your bed. There are no monsters in your room, and furthermore, I'm not coming in here again. And you know, when mothers get that tone of voice, you know, when they start to say, I'm not coming, you know what I mean? She meant that she was going to leave me in there all alone with those monsters. I didn't know what I was going to do. So you know what I did do? I pulled the covers up all the way over my head like this. Got my fingers underneath, got hands, got everything under the cover, and I closed my eyes real tight, and I waited. And have any of you guys ever been under the covers for very long, you know? After a while, you can't breathe anymore. And I was getting to the point where I couldn't breathe. I had to do something, so I started to do like this. I began to feel like a whale doing deep ends in the ocean. It was terrible. I couldn't stand anymore, so then I opened my eyes like this, and oh, man, it was darker under the covers. And I threw them off, and I ran and got my flashlight, got back in bed before the monster could get me. Because I knew monsters didn't like the light, and I had my flashlight, my trusty Boy Scout flashlight. Yeah, you know, and I thought, yeah, that'll help me. And then I was waiting, and pretty soon I heard from the closet, huh. And I started to get scared, you know. Even though I had my flashlight, I was scared. Because I knew the monster was in there. I couldn't see him. It was too dark. And I was waiting in my bed like that. And when you start getting scared, you know, your heart starts beating faster sometimes. My heart was beating a little faster. And then I heard the clothes start to move. And I knew he was coming. And oh man, then I really started to get scared. My knees started to shake like this. Like some of those guys back there when I yelled, rah, you know, my knees were shaking like this. And when my knees started to shake, the bed started to move. And it started to squeak because mothers never oil beds either. You know, my bed was squeaking, my knees were shaking. And I knew that monster was coming, but I couldn't see it anymore. I couldn't see it anymore, so I jumped up and I turned the flashlight on. And it was gone. And I said, all right, this is great. And I moved the flashlight around the room like Darth Vader's lightsaber in Star Wars. No monsters anywhere. And if there had been, I'd have cut them right in half. And then I started to get brave, you know, because I had power, you know, flashlight power. Yeah, and you know, whenever you're in a position where you start getting some power, you start to get brave. And I was getting brave, and I thought, yeah, you know, this is cool, man. I'm tough now. I got power. You know, it's the same kind of power you guys have if you were to go over to the playground of the elementary school, you know, and there's a bunch of fourth graders walking around, and you walk around like this and say, yeah, go ahead, touch me. Yeah, you're laughing because nobody will they? Because you're bigger than them. You have power. Yeah, and I had flashlight power, baby. And I thought, you know, I'd never seen that monster up till now. I never did get a good look at him. I thought, you know, if I wait long enough till he comes right up to the bed, turn the flashlight on, get a good look before it gets back in the closet. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do, because I have power. Of course, flashlight batteries never run down, do they? No, so I wouldn't worry about that, because I have power. And I was waiting, and I thought, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait. I'm going to see that sucker this time real good. And I waited, and pretty soon I heard from the closet, sure enough, and I thought, you're so funny, come on, you know. And then I heard the clothes start to move, you know, and they went whoosh, whoosh. And I wasn't half scared like I was last time, because I had power. I was waiting. And I was waiting for that flashlight on my knee. And I knew he was coming, but I couldn't see him, but I wasn't worried too much. And then all of a sudden, I could hear him breathing. And it sounded like this, you know. And when you can hear something breathing, it's getting pretty close. Then I started to get scared. My heart started going a little faster, but I wanted to wait because I really wanted to get a good look, you know. And all of a sudden, I could smell him. Ooh, and when you can smell something, you know it's really getting close. And I couldn't stand it anymore. My knees were shaking so bad, I jumped up and turned the flashlight on. And there it was. And I jumped off the bed and started beating on the head. And it was my sister. And I said to her, I said, oh, I'm sorry. She said, I don't believe you. And she turned towards the door and she yelled, Dad! Dad came running and hit the door. But he said, what is going on in here? And she said, Dad, he grabbed me and pulled me in here and started beating me on the head with a flashlight. So you can see that there really are monsters in the closet, monsters in the den, monsters in the hallway, just as soon as you turn your head. They'll get you if you're too slow, or if you open your eyes. There are monsters in the attic, and beneath each place that you lie. There are monsters in the attic, and beneath each place that you lie. That was good. I had a little echo going over here. You guys hear it? that's nice participation. You know, let me ask you, are there monsters really? Oh man, I am so surprised that you guys have said no. Are you kidding? My sister was one of the worst monsters I've ever seen. Any of you guys ever had a brother or sister, a little brother or sister monster? Yeah, aren't they the worst kind? Those are the worst kind because they're the ones who do this. They go, she did it. And parents always believe them too, don't they? And they come get you. Yeah, oh, those are terrible. How about big brother and big sister monsters? Yeah, those are the ones that say, shut up or I'll beat your face. And I'm looking out here at all these students out here, and I can tell some of you have those big brother and sister monsters because your faces are kind of messed up, you know? And I know, I can see it. But I'm not going to point you out because I know what that's like. Yeah, they can be monsters. And somebody over here said, teachers. No. No. Now, I have to admit, when I was growing up, I had a teacher monster I'll never forget. I'm not very good in math. And I had this Mr. Pirazzini in math. And don't laugh at his name. He was mean, but you know, and he didn't like me too much. You know, he'd come up and I was not very good in math, and he'd say, Kingsley, you get that math problem done now, or I'm going to bite you. And you never know, I could have rabies. And I think he did, because every once in a while you see him up in the front of the room, you know, wiping his mouth like he was trying to get foam off or something. Really. And as a teacher, you know, they can't bite you anymore. But when I was growing up, they could bite you. You believe me? No, but I did have a teacher monster. That's true. What other kinds of monsters do we have in our life? Real monsters. Mothers! Mothers, yes. Oh, yeah, those can be monsters. How about friends? Can friends be monsters sometimes? Yeah, they can. Another kind of monster that I had was math. Anybody here have any problems with math? Yeah, I did too. It was terrible. Now I can read pretty good, but math, But you know what I do now? Have a calculator. Yeah, that helps a lot, those kind of things. But there's lots of ways to handle those monsters. All right, let me ask you another question. Is it okay to be afraid? Okay, well, I hear some of you saying yes and some of you saying no. I happen to agree with the ones who said yes. You know why? Because I happen to be terrified to run across the freeway during rush hour. And actually, that's a pretty good thing to be afraid of, isn't it? Yeah, it is. And I'm also afraid to jump off of the Empire State Building. I don't know if you noticed or not, but I don't have any wings. If I had wings, I wouldn't be afraid, but I don't, so I am afraid. And that's a good thing to be afraid of because it keeps me alive, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. Are there things it's not a good idea to be afraid of? Depends on if you've got any monsters under there or not, doesn't it? But yeah, okay. What else is it not a good idea to be afraid of? What? Money? Oh, I don't know. How about school? Is it a good idea to be afraid of school? Yeah. I knew you'd say that. I just knew it. You know, that's kind of an interesting question, isn't it? But you know, let's pretend for a minute that you're afraid of school, okay? You're so afraid of school you never come. Now, what's going to happen to you if you do that? Yeah, well, I don't have to go on and tell you what's going to happen because you know. And you know, there are a lot of things it's not a good idea to be afraid of, but there are a lot of things it's also a very good idea to be afraid of. I gave you a couple examples. There's lots of things that we are afraid of, though, that, you know, maybe it's better not to be afraid of. And let me give you an example of that, just so you'll see what I mean. Let's pretend for a minute I'm afraid of my finger, okay? But don't laugh. Why do you think I wear glasses anyway? Fingers are dangerous. You know, they come any second and go, you know? Now, with glasses on, man. So I'm afraid of my finger, and I'm in 6th grade with you guys, and I come into class. You know, I walk into class, I'm doing, and she says, what are you doing? Go sit down and do your work. I go and I sit down, you know, and I'm right-handed too, so I'm going to really have problems, you know. She said, will you do your work? Now, am I going to be able to do much of anything if I'm afraid of that finger? No. So, you know, that's one of the things you say, gee, how am I going to get used to being not afraid of my finger? Well, one thing, you can wear glasses, right? So that when you poke yourself, you never hurt yourself, right? That'll help. There are other things you can do too. Now, that's kind of a silly example, but you guys get the point, don't you? There are things that we are afraid of. And we come to school, and we're thinking about it, right? And the teacher says, hey, Billy, 5 times 2 minus 6 divided eye, what's the answer? And Billy says, and she says, Billy, she says, finger. No, because he's worried about his finger, right? No, or worried about whatever it is that he's afraid of. Now, sometimes the things we're afraid of, like I said, are good things to be afraid of. Maybe sometimes you come to school and you had a bad night because your parents were fighting or something. That used to happen to me sometimes. And you're thinking about that. That's what counselors are for. I know you've got, is it Mrs. Price that's here? She's a counselor. And that's one of the kind of things that she does, you know, and other people do too. Your teachers will do that as well. I want to go on from there and go into a different kind of area. Like I said, I write all these songs myself, and so I'm thinking about what I want to present to you, what I want to share with you. And one of the things I want to ask you, how are people alike? We're alive. Good answer. That's good. How else are people alike? They have the same insides. Yeah, I think they do. What else? How are people alike? Go ahead. Mammals. Good. Yes. Good. What other ways are people alike? So, come on. What? They have feet. Actually, I have seen people that don't have feet. I've seen people that don't have 1 foot. I've seen people that don't have 2 feet. Hey, we should laugh at those people, shouldn't we? Hey, look at that. They don't have a foot. But you guys are laughing. What do you mean it's not funny? All right, well, so what other ways are people alike? They all have, I've seen some bald people. Hey, they're funny, aren't they, you know? When I see a bald person, I go, hey, there's a bald person, isn't that funny? What do you mean rude? Isn't it fun to laugh at people who aren't like us? I mean, you guys all have hair, I can see that. You have eyes and stuff. Yeah, I laugh at people who have glasses on. Yeah, look at your 4 eyes. Yeah. Okay, well, what other ways are people alike? What? I can't hear you. Noses! Oh! And somebody said clothes. Oh, you guys got some pretty funny clothes on. Look at that. Yeah, that's pretty funny. You guys keep frowning when I say we should laugh at something like that. Why shouldn't we laugh at that? I mean, that's pretty funny. Why not? Okay. Let me share something with you. I happen to agree with you, with what you're saying. But you know something interesting? Think back in your own life for a few minutes. There are times when you have seen somebody different and you have laughed, aren't there? Think about it. And I agree with you that it's really not a good idea to do. And the main reason is because one of the best ways we're all alike is we all have feelings, don't we? Don't we? I've never met a person who didn't have feelings, no matter how handicapped they were. And I've worked with a lot of handicapped individuals because I'm a school psychologist. And in one of the schools that I work at, we have an autistic program, which are children who are autistic or who have autism. We have a severely mentally handicapped program for children who have that handicap. We have an educably mentally handicapped program, a trainably mentally handicapped program, learning disabilities, speech and language disabilities. And in another school I'm at, we have an emotionally handicapped program. And all of those programs have people that are different. And sometimes people do laugh at them, you know? So I agree with you. It's not a good idea to do that because we all have feelings. And every single child I've ever met, no matter how handicapped, has feelings too. And I wanted to share with you a song that I wrote about 10 or 12 years ago when I was in another state. And the reason I wrote this is because I was really mad because there was a child I knew who was handicapped and couldn't walk and couldn't use one of his arms. And he wanted to be like his father, which most of us do, you know, who have fathers. And everybody would walk away from him saying, somebody ought to tell that kid the truth. He's never going to be like his father. And when they'd say that, I'd really get angry because I happen to have kind of a belief that people can kind of do pretty much anything they want to do. Now, some handicaps do keep us from doing some things, or some things as well as others, but if you really want to try, you can do some things. And I thought, there's got to be a way, you know? And so this song is for that boy and against those people who kept saying that, because I think it really made me mad. said he knew what he wanted to be when he was just a little boy. He wanted to grow up just like his daddy and to be his pride and joy. But the little boy's legs were paralyzed and he couldn't use one arm. He'd sit and watch his daddy play guitar between the chores out on the farm. Though the little boy couldn't play guitar and couldn't do many chores, couldn't play sports in school and had trouble even opening doors, he still dreamed the dreams to be like his daddy, and he dreamed them all day long. Each night when his daddy would play guitar, you could hear him singing along. Sing, little boy, sing, sing 'em loud and clear. Let your voice give life every good song that you hear. Sing, little boy, sing, sing 'em in a crowd. Lift your voice to the sky and make your daddy proud. Then one day his daddy was gone, they say taken before his time. The little boy who couldn't play guitar could see no reason or rhyme. He didn't understand the taking of life, he was just a little boy. Still wanted to grow up just like his daddy and to be his pride and joy. Sing, little boy, sing, sing 'em loud and clear. Let your voice give life every good song that you hear. Sing, little boy, sing, sing 'em in a crowd. Lift your voice to the sky and make your daddy proud. Then when the little boy would sing alone, everyone would gather around. They all loved to hear that little boy sing. He had the sweetest voice in town. Listeners would laugh and sometimes cry when they heard the words he sang. They said he sounded just like his daddy, the way the high notes rang. Sing, little boy, sing, sing 'em loud and clear. Let your voice give life every good song that you hear. Sing, little boy, sing, sing 'em in a crowd. Lift your voice to the sky and make your daddy proud. I'll make your daddy. Now I'm going to share with you a song that has a lot of real personal, all of them do. I think probably most of you know, everything that you draw, that you write, that you sing, says something about yourself. Everything you wear says something about yourself. I had some pictures sent here that I wanted to pass out to you. Does anybody know what happened to those? Mrs. Price said they copied a whole bunch of them. So if they're not found, then they will be, and they'll give them to you, because one of the things I like to do is draw. So I brought a couple of pictures to share with you. If you don't get them today, you'll get them another day. And I've drawn all my life, and I've also written things, stories and things. And I've been a little different myself in a lot of ways. And I can remember people making fun of me when I was growing up because of the stupid things I would say. At least the things that they said were stupid. And so this song is about that, and about some of the kinds of things that I used to say and what would happen. It's called Only a Chicken. found it there all by itself underneath the tree. And Egg and I carried it in the house and dreamed my dreams what it might be. A sparrow, thought I, but it looked much too big. An eagle then, or even a dinosaur. Whatever I knew, the one thing I had to do was to keep it warm. My friends all laughed, saying what a crazy dream. It's just a chicken, only a chicken, they said. Only a chicken, well perhaps that's all it is. But I kept that dream alive in my head. I put my reading light over the precious egg and turned it twice each day. Before long, you know it hatched a chicken, so in my yard it could stay. For had it been a dinosaur, I just wouldn't have had the room. And an eagle or sparrow would have flown away, much too soon. And my friends all laughed, saying what a crazy dream. It's just a chicken, only a chicken, they said. Only a chicken, well perhaps that's all it is. But I kept that dream alive in my head. Yes, I did. So much for your dreams, my friends, they made fun. You've got a stupid chicken now, you see. But being a dreamer, I only smiled. I was busy figuring what I might need. I'm gonna get me a brand new skateboard. I told them all, and this chicken, it will be the way. Oh yeah, they joked, ha, sure you are. Now what other dumb things you gonna say? And they all laughed, saying what a crazy dream. It's just a chicken, you fool, only a chicken, they said. Only a chicken, well perhaps that's all it is. I kept that dream alive in my head. And that chicken grew up and began to lay eggs, one and sometimes two each day. Before these I sold for a dime apiece to a lady who liked the freshest eggs and would pay. In half a year I had almost enough money, and my friends knew it was no longer a jest. Then to an egg farmer I sold that chicken, paid my feed bill and bought a skateboard with the rest. And my friends all laughed, saying what a crazy dream. It's just a chicken, only a chicken, they said. Only a chicken, well perhaps that's all it is. But I kept that dream alive in my head. They all laughed, saying what a crazy dream. It's just a chicken, you fool, only a chicken, they said. Only a chicken, well perhaps that's all it was. But I kept that dream alive in my head. I keep my dreams alive in my head. One of the dreams that I kept alive was that I wanted to write songs. I began writing songs in high school, but I didn't know how to play music. I didn't know how to play piano or guitar when I grew up. I didn't have one, didn't have a piano, didn't have parents who had money to get one or cared to get one, and there were a lot of other things going on too. I had a stepmother. I kind of bounced back and forth between my family in California and my family in Arizona, and my stepmother did not like me too much, and when I tried to sing with a radio along, you know, like everybody does, she'd say, "Cut it out, you can't sing with your head in the bucket," and scream at me and say things like that. So that it was very difficult for me to get past that point. But I liked singing, I wanted to do it, and I wanted to write songs. When I got out of the Army, I had a little money, so I bought a guitar. you see the result of that. I have written since that time about 500 songs. I write about 2 or 3 a month because they just are there. And they all say something about something. And today, I'm sitting here in front of you, singing some of my songs, which is one of the dreams I never gave up on, but it would have been easy to do it. Because there were a lot of people opposing me. When I first started singing, I didn't sing in tune very good at all. I still get flat sometimes, but nothing like I used to. People go, "Ooh, man." And I just kept on doing it anyway. And so that represents a lot of things. The art that I've done is the same kind of way. I didn't really have much encouragement, but I like to draw. And the pictures that I have for you, if you look at them, will tell you something about me. But I'm not going to tell you what. I'll let you figure that out. Or maybe work with your teachers on figuring it out. Because they all do. And I just kept drawing and drawing. Today I can draw pretty good. I believe that I can draw anything I can see. And I'll let you be the judge of that when you see the pictures. But I like to draw cartoons, so that's what I mostly draw. I have another song I want to share with you. It's of a serious kind of nature. Let me ask you a question. Do you guys have choices every day you have to make?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a choice whether or not you come to school? Some of you are saying no, some of you are saying yes. Well, I understand both of those answers, I think. I want to share with you the fact that you do have a choice. If you don't go, your parents might punish you, and so you say, I'd rather go to school than get punished. So you're choosing to go to school. But if you didn't go to school, you didn't have to. They'd punish you, right? Yeah. Or eventually, if you stayed out of school, somebody would come get you and they'd put you in juvenile and they'd try and make you go to school. But even if they had you chained to a desk, do you have to be in school? No. I don't know about you guys, but I wasn't chained to a desk, but every once in a while when I was in school, I was somewhere else. You know, flying through the sky with the birds or something, you know, and the teacher would call on me and I'd say, finger. Or something like that. But that wasn't because I didn't really want to be there, it was just because I sort of had a mind that was active that way and bounce around and do those kinds of things. But if you don't want to be there, you don't have to be, do you? The choice to be there is yours, ultimately. The choice to do anything is yours. And every single choice you make, and ever will make, will affect who you are. Okay? And I'm going to share with you this song called Choices. The choices that you make you what you are. Poisons that you take find a way into your heart, and everywhere you go, everything you do, it all ends up coming right back at you. David did his homework and Melissa refused to try. At year's end, she was held back while he went on to junior high. The choices that you make you what you are. Poisons that you take find a way into your heart, and everywhere you go, everything you do, it all ends up coming right back at you. My friend was a joker, a million laughs each day. Then one time he told the truth, and no one believed what he had to say. The choices that you make you what you are. Poisons that you take find a way into your heart, and everywhere you go, everything you do, it all ends up coming right back at you. We all have the freedom to choose knows who will be our friends. What we'll do when pressure's on, and how our free time is spent. The choices that you make you what you are. Poisons that you take find their way into your heart, and everywhere you go, everything you do, it all ends up coming right back at you. My mother chose tobacco, my father his Jim Beam. She paid her debt in cancer, and he lost all his childhood dreams. The choices that you make you what you are. The poisons that you take find their way into your heart, and everywhere you go, everything you do, it all ends up coming right back at you. The choices that we make us where we are. The poisons that we take work their way into our hearts, and everywhere we go, everything we do, it all ends up coming right back at us, it's true. The choices that we make us what we are. Back a little further in your journey again, back in time, because I want to play a baby game with you to get you a little bit relaxed. Got a few more minutes to go, and I know you're probably tired of sitting there. So please, everybody be very quiet and stand up for a minute. All right, listen to me carefully. The game that I want to play with you is considered to be a baby game, but I don't play it like the babies do, so you better listen or you're going to be out very quickly. I'm going to play Simon Says with you. All right. I have a funny feeling that none of you have ever played it the way I play it, so pay attention and we'll see, okay? Because I have adapted that game a little bit to my own way of thinking. Are you ready? Okay, Simon Says, don't say a word. Now, I know how difficult that is for a 6th grade student. I was a 6th grade student, and it was hard not to say anything. Some of you guys are already out. I heard you say something. I know. You have to be honest with me and this many people, because with this many people, I can't tell who's out and who's not. So you have to be honest, okay? Be honest. That's important. All right, we'll start this fairly easy, because you guys are newcomers to my game. Simon Says, look at my ugly face and don't smile. I know how hard that is to do too, because every morning I get up and I look in the mirror myself and I go, you know, so I know that's hard to do. And I know that some of you guys are already out and some of you are still in. Who's still in so I can see who I'm still playing with? Who's still in? Raise your hand. Okay, everybody raise their hand are now out too. I told you to listen to me, didn't I? Yeah. Some of you listened, some of you didn't. You're doing pretty good. What's your name? You're out too. You're smiling. Oh, it does it every time, especially when it's a boy, isn't it? Ooh, yes. Hey, you guys are doing pretty good. Oh, that's tough, isn't it? All right, this is cool. We got some people still in. Okay, stand up. You can't say oops, you're out. Everybody who's still standing up is out. Did Simon say to stand up? But he didn't say to sit down either, did he? No, he didn't. But he didn't say to stand up. And I said stand up, didn't I? So you better do something else when I do that, huh? That's kind of an interesting new rule, isn't it? But it makes sense, doesn't it? All right, let's try it one more time. Simon says don't say a word. Okay, now I'll make it a little bit harder because you advanced. All right, you're in the advanced group now. Simon says, don't sit down unless you're already standing up. I'll give you time to think about that. Go ahead, think about it. I'll give you time. Because I know it's hard. It's hard to do this. Okay, everybody who's sitting down is out. That's because the instruction was fairly simple. Don't sit down. Simon says don't sit down unless you're already standing up. You guys are all standing up, so you don't sit down, right? Oh, yes. This is a good thinking game, isn't it? It's kind of fun. Now, everybody else, be real quiet. Listen to this very carefully, or you're never going to get this one. Watch these guys do this one. When I say go, not when I say went or hit it, or let's do it, baby. When I say go, anytime I say go, I want you to turn around twice, tap your head once, look to the person next to you, wave at them and say hi and smile. That's pretty good, isn't it? You guys are never going to remember how to do that, are you? And you're never going to be ready, hit it. Oh, you're smarter than that, aren't you? Go. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Some of you started to go, huh? Who's still in? Raise your hands so I can see. You're out, too. That's an easy one. You have to be honest about when you're out. Come on. It's no fun if you don't. I know, I saw it. All right. The rest of you guys win. Sit down and we'll finish this thing. No, everybody who's standing up, you win. Sit down and we'll start finishing this game. Now you're thinking, aren't you? Yeah, that's good. All right. Don't sit down. All right, whoever's sitting down is still in. All right, some of the ones who were still standing are going. So, you guys explain it to them another time, okay? We're going to finish this thing up.
I won. I got it.
Yeah, bug your teachers and they'll let you try it again. All right. Okay. This is a song that I actually have on a tape that I'm leaving here with your counselor, so you might be able to hear it again sometime with a little bit more music in it. And this is one that I actually wrote for the autistic class in the school that I work for. But if you think about what I've been talking to you about, I also wrote it for myself and for all of you too. Because everybody is different. Everybody is the same in some ways. We are a lot alike. We all have feelings and so on. But everybody is different except identical twins. And even they're different because their personalities are usually different. But we're all different. And because we're different, sometimes we wonder, oh, I must be ugly because nobody likes me. You know? And it may not be that, but that's what we wonder sometimes. I know I wondered that. And so this is for all of you as well. There is so much more to me than you see. This I want you to know. There are thoughts I've thought. There are things that I've done. There are places I still need to go. Please see all of me, not just the outer part. Please see all of me. Open up your heart. Please see all of me. you might get too near. Please see all of me, or you may turn away, I fear. If the package we're in is pretty, we've got a better chance. If there's a wonderful song that we sing, people may get up and dance. There's a difference to us all, you know, and I'm sure thankful that it's true. Imagine another just like myself, it scares me. How about you? Please see all of me, not just the outer part. Please see all of me. Open up your heart. Please see all of me. Don't be worried you might get too near. Please see all of me, or you may turn away, I fear. I know no one learns about sports at all by staying away, or a song on the piano by never sitting down to play. Hey, I may not laugh when you laugh, you see, I may not understand. If you reach out to me with your own, if I can, I'll give you my hand. Please see all of me, not just the outer part. Please see all of me. Open up your heart. Please see all of me. Don't be worried you might get too near. Please see all of me, or you may turn away, I fear. There are some people who never even see past their very own nose. And some would call the Grand Canyon a ditch, or say a rose is a rose. But deep inside we all know that just isn't true. At least that's not the way it ought to be. Yet at times we all do it any old way, 'cause some things are just too hard to see. Please see all of me, not just the obvious parts. Please see all of me. Open up your heart. Please see all of me. Don't be worried you might get too near. Please see all of me, or you may turn away, I fear. Please see all of me, or you may turn away, I fear. Please see all of me. Thanks. I had one more planned, but it looks like we're kind of out of time, and it's hot in here, isn't it? And so maybe we better not do that. Thank you very much. You've been a very good audience. It's been a while.